Over the last 2 years, I have made a lot of money helping fitness influencers sell things to their audience that they actually want. And after testing probably 100+ ways to convert an audience, we found that this way is the single way to make the most amount of money while feeling the least salesy. Now, we make sure to keep a couple things in mind when doing this. One, brand over everything. Now, the reason why we say brand over everything is because at the end of the day, if your audience doesn't trust you, then you're gonna make no money. If your audience doesn't like you, then they're not gonna watch your shit, which just means that this entire thing that you've spent so much time building is now just useless. So if that gets broken, everything is fucked. The second thing is, what do they really want? Now, when I say what do they really want, I genuinely mean what do they really want? Because odds are that most of your audience isn't actively looking for this magic supplement that does this unique thing that you're trying to get it to do. But what they probably do want is a goal that they've had for the last 15 years. The third thing is value, value, value. Now, the reason why I emphasize value is because the biggest thing that we want to do is make sure that they feel like they are getting a bargain. So how can we come up with an offer that does really all three of this? It increases your brand trust, it gives them what they really want, and it's valuable as fuck. Now, most of the times you'll actually see things that only cover one or two of these, right? For most people, if they sell supplements, it's cool because that actually can increase brand trust because, hey, it's more awareness. People see your stuff. If it's good quality, that's great. Is it something that they really want? Maybe, right? But there's definitely only a very small percentage of people who are actively knowledgeable about the fact that they want supplements. And most of the time, they're going to get it from their local supplement store because supplements are quite easy. In the female niche, it changes a little bit, but that's the main thing. And then value, value, value. Is it really that valuable? Well, most of the time supplements are marked up. However, usually they're pretty good value. So I would check 2 of the 3 for that. If it was a clothing brand, cool. Same thing. Awareness, dope. Do they really want it? Now, I would argue yes, only because I want to play that side of the coin, because I think that apparel is generally a good thing. It's usually just quite hard to run. And I think that apparel actually does a lot because people are always looking for ways to look better. The big thing is the look, right? Especially in fitness. Now, value, 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 fuck no. If you are a brand that is selling apparel, it's just not. It's not a good deal, right? I don't know many, if any, apparel that is a good deal. Now, once again, this is just me. Other people are constantly looking for it. So, once again, selling supplements and selling apparel is good. It's not great, though. However, the one that really checks all 3 boxes for me, as you guys can probably guess, is coaching. Now, most influencers, they don't want to do the coaching. Cool, that's fine. You still need to have it because it makes everything else better. It makes your partnerships better. It makes anything else that you sell better. It makes your audience trust you more because you have more proof, more credibility. Everything about your life gets better when you have coaching. Keep in mind, this doesn't have to be one-to-one with you. It can be, and you can sell a higher ticket because of it, but it does not have to be, and you can make a fucking bag in coaching while increasing your money everywhere else as well, which is why I think it's so essential to have coaching as part of your offer stack if you are a fitness influencer online. Actually, it's stupid not to, because yes, it increases your brand. Think about all the testimonials you get, all the social proof you get, everything that you get from people loving working with you, because one way or another, it just gives them more access to you. And that's what oftentimes people want. They want that connection. So yes, it increases your brand trust. Do they really want it? Well, you tell me. If I ask you, what's your fitness goal? Do you have one? Yes. No shit. If you're watching this video, you for sure have one. I have one. My dad has one. My mom has one. Everybody that I know has one, because fitness is a core pillar that we think about when we go back all the way back to as young as we can think. It is quite literally the first insecurity that every human being has. The first insecurity that you remember is the fact that you are insecure about your body in one way, shape, or form. The looks matter, and people need to acknowledge that, because do they really want it? Fuck yeah, they want it. Imagine some 25-year-old is sitting here talking about his fitness journey and talking about how he's struggling. Imagine how long he's been sitting with that. Now imagine that for a 30-year-old, a 35-year-old. It's the first insecurity that you have. The first. What other people think of the way? Like, come on. And then third thing, value, value, value. I'm going to check this off, but not for the reason that you think. A lot of people get deterred by fitness coaching because of the fact that they need to constantly promote it. They feel it's salesy, yada, yada, yada. And really the biggest thing that they worry about is that it's going to hurt their brand. And I get it. I get that. Which is why when we actually look at value, I'm going to pin this for a second. If we look at the value equation, and this is taken directly from Hormozi, it's very, very simple. What is the dream outcome? Meaning what they really want. So in this case, it'd be maybe, I don't know, lose 15 pounds. Wrong. It's actually what comes after losing 15 pounds. So it's the way that girls look at them. It's the way that guys look at them. It's being comfortable walking around on the beach with their shirt off, feeling good so that they can put out better in bed. I don't know, but these are real. Second, perceived likelihood of achievement. What are the odds that they can reach this goal? Now, if you have social proof and you have testimonials, this goes up. If you don't, then this goes down. The dream outcome is one that we can't control because that's them. The perceived likelihood of achievement is absolutely something that we can control with marketing, with testimonials, with social proof, with any information that we can give them pre-call, things like that. Time it takes. Now, most people in fitness know that in order to actually see a result, and when I say see a result, I mean like a impactful result, a big result, it usually takes about 12 or 24 weeks. That's just the reality, right? We see that, especially because with online coaching, it's basically hand-holding. You give them a workout plan, you give them a diet plan, and you hold them accountable, right? But they don't know that. And the first hurdle that people need to get over is the momentum. They need to get over that first hurdle so that they can get that momentum, get that energy, get that motivation, and then we turn that into discipline. Meaning, the time it takes, although in reality it's about 12 to 24 weeks, we can say whatever timeline we want. We could say 21 days. We can say 6 weeks. We can say 42 day, right? Now, this gets important because if we can say 6 weeks, that means that the time it takes them in order to achieve dream outcome and their perceived likelihood of achievement is actually pretty short, which is good because everything that you're doing with this value equation is you're wanting to increase this, right? Increase the dream outcome, make their dream outcome as big as possible, increase the perceived likelihood of achievement, increase what the odds are that they're going to achieve that result, decrease everything on the bottom. So decrease the time it takes to achieve it, so in this case 6 weeks, and decrease the amount of effort that it will take on their end. Now, this is the hardest one in fitness. However, we can make this easier. How can you do it? Let's talk about effort for a second. When talking about effort, there's a couple of ways that we've noticed in the fitness industry that it just makes things so much easier. Obviously, one-to-one access to somebody knowledgeable, right? Call this a coach. Obviously makes it easier. Making it so that they don't have to think is also a big one. Imagine you don't have to think about what you stuff your face hole with every day. It's already set up for you. You don't have to think about what you need to do at the gym or when you're gonna go because that's already set up for you. Having it be fun is also a big one. If it's boring to do it, then you think it takes more effort than it actually does. If it's something fun, it takes less effort to do it. And the fourth thing is something that is routine. It's something that is just worked in, right? Something that I guess it's more this, but something that just, it flows. You don't have to worry about it and you don't have to go with this insane amount of discipline. You don't need to have that in order to execute because it's simple and it works. So if we can get all of these to be as low as possible, then in theory, we've done our job correctly. The problem with this then arises, people inevitably need to pay for this. But my goal is actually to have nobody pay for shit to start. Because one thing that I use as a guiding principle is volume over everything. So if I want volume over everything, that means I want the most amount of leads. I want the most amount of calls. I want the most amount of fucking everything. So what I like to do is make sure that I give something away for free. Now, I'm going to tie this back in with the initial point, which is, how is this value? Most people are worried about hurting their brand by CTAing too much. Oh, if you want one-to-one coaching, DM me the word coach. That all sucks, okay? But what is great for a brand, what is great for an audience, is if once a week or once every 2 weeks, you CTA to something free that they actually want with proof that it works. Check, check, check. And I'm going to ask you right now, is there anything that you can promote as a fitness influencer? If you are one, listen up and answer this question. Is there anything that you can promote that is free that will make you money? If the answer is yes, then great. However, if it's not, listen the fuck up. And to be honest, if the answer is yes, comment down below and tell me what it is, because I would love to get educated. But because it is fucking free, this makes the next step super easy, because the obvious next question, is if it's free, how do you make money? Well, pretty fucking simple. You get them to DM you for the lead magnet, then you have a conversation, and if they qualify, book a call. And best part, you don't need to sell 5K up front because that shit just doesn't work. Sell something that they actually want. When you qualify, obviously you're getting budget as well. So when you get the budget, figure out what you're going to sell. Now, most of the times, what we do is we sell between 1.2K and 2.4K. Because this is what we find most people can afford. And then it works out to about $100 a week, which is perfect. So you can get them in at these price points, which are very easy sells, by the way. Very easy sells. And the best part is you're not promoting this. You're not promoting the one-on-one coaching ever. They do not know about this on the front end. They only know about this after going through an entire setting conversation that they don't even know is a setting conversation. And then we say, hey, would you be open to potentially getting some help? They say yes. We say, cool, this is what we got. Do you want to hop on a call with one of the coaches to see if it makes sense for you? They say yes, boom, they get on a call. Now, the reason why this works so well is because we advertise free, we get 5 million X the amount of leads. It's not actually 5 million X. What we notice is that we get about 10X the leads, right? So we get about 10 times the leads. And because the lead magnet that we promote for free is so beautiful and it checks well, it actually doesn't check so many of these boxes, but the perceived likelihood that it checks these boxes is so high, it's basically the same thing. The only thing that we now need to qualify for is pretty much budget because we know that they have intent, right? We know that they have the need. We know that it's the right timing because we're talking to them about it. We know that they have the authority to make a decision on it because it's their health. So the only thing that we need is budget, right? BANT. For those of you who don't know, BANT stands for budget, authority, need, and timing. And because our lead magnet checks this, this, and this, the only thing that we need to qualify for is this. So when we promote our free lead magnet, which basically for everyone is the same thing, which is just time frame, seasonal name, fitness goal challenge. So 6-week winter weight loss challenge. Boom, beautiful name. Or 42-day summer shredding challenge. Crazy. And then you just throw different spins on it for whatever season it is. Boom, there's your lead magnet. There's the thing that you can run ads to. There's the thing that you can promote for free. And if you have a large enough brand, you can promote this once a week, once every other week, and you will get leads for days. For days. We had one client where we did not run ads for the entire month, by the way, which didn't want the volume, and he posted 3 stories all month. And this did $70,000 for the month. And at the margins that we ran, this put fucking astronomical amounts of money in his pocket. And best part, he didn't do the marketing, he didn't do the sales, he didn't do the coaching. That's kind of our whole gimmick. Done for you, everything. Whoa. But that's it. That's the entire system. So you promote something free, you DM them, or you make them DM you to get the lead magnet, you have a conversation, you qualify, you book a call, and then you sell something for low ticket, not high ticket, unless they qualify, and voila, you make a boatload of money. Now, the important thing when doing this is you want to give them access to. So in this challenge, right, have a community, have a workout plan, have a diet plan, the workout and diet plan just templated, but actually give them access to you. Actually communicate with them, post in the community, comment on their stuff, like make it fun, because at the end of the day, if the product is shit, then all of this is null and void. But if the product is actually good, and people use it, that means every single result you get, you can just repost on your story for goodwill and social proof. If you have a story highlight of client wins, student successes, whatever the fuck it is, and that story has 8,000 slides, of course they're gonna trust you. Not only are the prospects gonna trust you, brands will trust you. Brands love that. Brands love that shit. Especially when you're not promoting all the time, they love it. We had one client who literally got better offers from the brands he was working with and more brand deals. I think he went from 2 brand deals to 5 brand deals and like 6x his income from brand deals alone. Not to mention $1 million a year in coaching. And the followers started to engage more. His engagement rate, I think, quadrupled or 3.5x. Like, the shit works. Okay? I wouldn't be talking about this if it didn't work. And I've been doing this for 2 years, so I know this shit works. Which is why this is all I talk about, right? All I talk about is helping fitness influencers make money through coaching so that everything gets better, so that their brand gets stronger, so that they're actually giving their audience what they want, and they're actually providing a fuck ton of value. Now, if any of this sounds interesting and you want to work with me, we'd be happy to do so. Basically, we help fitness influencers make that massive coaching income, but they don't have to do any of the marketing, any of the sales, or any of the fulfillment themselves. Yes, quite literally done for you everything. So if that sounds interesting, I will leave my Instagram down below. You can shoot me a message there. I'll talk to you in the DMs and, well, see if we're a good fit. And if we are, great. If you got some value from this video, consider dropping a like, consider subscribing, because this is all I talk about on this channel. But in any case, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.